prepared for the whatever this economic meltdown we're having, right? I don't think anyone was prepared necessarily for the lockdown and how it's going to happen. But obviously, if you have a cushion or money or savings or even work that you were doing from home or online that could continue paying you, you probably were much better off than most of us. And I'm including myself in this, right? So I don't know how much you've watched or listened to any of the Instagram, YouTube, Twitter stuff I've posted. Um, and those of you that follow or know, we were about to have our first Blacks Only comedy show for the year, April 5th, Empress Palace. We normally always sell out Empress Palace, over 3,000 people. And that was my first big show for the year. And it was a nice paycheck for the year. And all that was cancelled. We had started marketing the show. I think we had ads running already on Comedy Central. I had a few golf day events, a couple of other gigs um, that pretty much were all cancelled. A lot of our business is handshakes. You work with other comedians, DJs work with other promoters. You all kind of say, yo, man, my gig this day, can you come? Sharp, no problem. Nobody's signing contracts or trying to sue people or demanding cancellation fees. That's the majority of the industry. But he's in my TV show, David Cow's House. Those of you who don't know Space, go to David Cow's House. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. So let me jump right into my YouTube channel, right? And we can keep going back and forth, back and forth. Um, so I've had my YouTube channel for 10 years, believe it or not. And, at some point I had 9,800 subscribers after a few years. Then I had 10,000 subscribers. But I treated my YouTube channel very casually. Sometimes um, I posted some stand-up comedy. Sometimes I'd do a funny video with someone else and I'll post it. I directed a movie from Mzansi Magic years ago called Taxi Ride. And at the time, I had DVD rights. So I asked for the digital rights. And so I've posted that and another movie I made on Mzansi at the time, Shampoo's Retirement Village. I think I've posted it in 3 parts. So there's been like a whole lot of things that I've posted on my YouTube channel. Some stand-up comedy clips. I would do a show, maybe post 5 minutes, but I've been recording almost every single show I've ever done in my career in 20 years, 21 years, at least the past 16 years minimum, if not the past 20 years. I've recorded those shows. Obviously, technology has changed, cameras changed, the quality changed, improved. Um, so right now, since lockdown and post lockdown or whatever, after lockdown, when we get back to what we think or might call normal, um, I'll be looking at all this footage and I'm deciding what to do with the footage. I'm deciding where to put what to put on my YouTube channel, what to put on Facebook, what to put on Instagram, what to maybe edit, release as a special or one-man show, sell to which broadcaster or channel, or distribute or whatever, or just self-distribute and stuff like that. So those are some of the things that I want you guys to kind of be aware of and wait for. Then obviously, in the past 10 years, at some stage I didn't have a child. Then I had my firstborn, who's now 11 years old. Then I had my secondborn. She turns 8 in July on Nelson Mandela's birthday. And now I've got my wife's lastborn, who he turned 2 in March. So throughout the time, my comedy um, also changed because I do a lot of stuff about myself and my life at whatever point I'm in. And so my content on YouTube also changed. I did a TV show called David Gow's House, which was licensed to Star Times, which used to be Top TV. And then from there, I put season one on my YouTube channel. So all 20 episodes, season one, are on my YouTube channel. I have done another about 26 episodes of season two of David Gow's House, filmed a couple of years ago, which I'm ready to pretty much now, I guess, put on my YouTube channel, unless I can relicense them to another TV station and then put them on my YouTube channel. But my terms and conditions were always after broadcast, then the show comes to my YouTube channel. So because I've got so many things that I'm doing, I've got a lot of playlists on my YouTube channel. So when you guys go to my YouTube channel, try and go under playlists. Then you'll find like a playlist for stand-up comedy. You'll find a playlist for David Carl's House. You'll find a playlist for interviews I did with Tenjiwe Comedy. Tenjiwe is a comedian creator. There was a time, I think, when lockdown started, we went on Instagram Live for 5 hours from 10 p.m. until 20 past 3 in the morning. And we've put three of those on my YouTube channel. I think some are on her YouTube channel. And then I've started chatting to other comedians, friends that I know that are comics, some that have been in the industry forever, some I met traveling in Canada, in the US. So I've started doing a lot of chats with them. Unfortunately, or fortunately, all of this came out during lockdown. So a lot of the interviews are pretty much we are all at home. Some are in LA, I'm in South Africa, someone be in Canada, someone will be wherever in the world, some people in South Africa. So now I have a few of those and I'm gonna do a lot more of those. I think 2 days ago I spoke to Aisha Alpha, comedian, actress, writer. We met 4 years ago in Montreal in Canada. We were both performing in a TV special for Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. Just for Laughs, the biggest comedy festival in the world. And I've got that interview up, which then has gone under another playlist I've started called David Cow Live with guest comedians. Then the first interview I did, a friend of mine, Ruben Paul, interviewed me. He's also a comic based in LA. I've got that interview that I've put on my channel as well. So there's quite a few things. I've directed about maybe 16 to 20 movies for Mnet, Mzansi Magic in the past couple of years. Wrote, produced, directed them, produced them with Songezile, who's been with me for like 11 years. You know, from being my PA and full-on producer, shoots all my travels wherever we go. A few years or 2 years ago, we went to New York. We started a series called South Africans Living in New York. So we interviewed a few people that live in New York and we put up the series. That's also a different playlist on my YouTube channel, South Africans in New York. I've gone back and I've started talking to South Africans in New York again. I started in lockdown, so I spoke to someone who's in New Jersey. New Jersey is like across the river from New York. And so I'm going to speak to more South Africans living in New York. The idea was to do South Africans living in New York, living in London, living in Toronto, living in Washington, D.C., in LA. We even did all the graphics for it and the opening sequence. So that's when I started. And then, I mean, it was about June, July 2018. And then I hadn't been to New York for some time. But I guess now we've learned so much can be done on air, over on the line, overseas, downstairs. Um, so these are all the things that are gonna be on my YouTube channel. Akosua Buitumelo, if I don't talk to you, happy birthday on 18th July. That's my daughter's 8th birthday. If I get a reminder on Facebook, I'll wish you a birthday again. So then obviously I do have a lot of stand-up comedy. I'm choosing what to put on YouTube, what to put on Twitter, Instagram, yada yada. But I do have a full-on special that I recorded, I think 2015 or 2014, on my birthday, 18th April, at the Soweto Theatre, but I never released the material, right? So I've got that entire special that I'm looking at it. I'm deciding, what do I edit out? Do I leave out stuff? Do I use some for promo? Do I release a 1 hour? But also, I'm deciding if I must package some stuff and sell it, to a streaming platform or a channel in South Africa or whatever. And then again, decide how or when do I put it up on my YouTube channel. So that's pretty much, in a nutshell. So YouTube, obviously, um, one, you guys have to subscribe, have to turn on your notifications to know that I've posted stuff, and like or not like, and comment on whatever it is that I'm posting. I found out during lockdown, a lot of people are under the impression that it costs money to subscribe to YouTube. It doesn't. So YouTube is free. You can join, have a profile just like on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. You don't have to post if you don't want, but it helps you then if you have a profile and you've subscribed to someone, and then you start sort of getting ideas and suggestions from the actual YouTube algorithms on when and how or who to subscribe to, and like similar content and things like that. Um, so I asked some of you guys to tell me um, what you are doing, because I can actually have some of you on screen with me during this interview. So let's see. Let me know what you do, and I'll send you a link on how, and show you how you can join me. Um, so this is why I didn't directly go live, just directly from YouTube itself or from Facebook, where it's just me talking to myself like I'm doing now. This platform I'm using, I can also talk to someone else and put them on screen, and we can still go live, and you guys can see both of us. So Edgar Maja is here. He's always trying to make fun of my golf. I'm just trying to send you guys shout outs. Um, are you still financially stable? If not, is there a plan going forward, content wise, um, that we can contribute on to make sure that you stay afloat apart from the stand ups or even them too? So, Rufumo Nicholas, I'm going to answer your question. So, I don't know why the thing is like such a pow in front of me, man. Um, so, okay, let me take off the question because I can't see anymore. So, Rifumo, your question is it's a tricky question. Am I financially stable? What we'll have to define what is financially stable. Do I have money in the bank or some money? Yes. Do I have a whole lot of money? No. But I have cows. I have a plot at home, and I've got things that I've put my money in. So I, if I have cash, if you were to say, can I borrow money? I wouldn't have money to borrow you, right? But I've got cash. So I might not have cash to buy a new car or buy new clothes. If you're asking for that, no, I don't have money. Do I have money to build my YouTube channel, take my content that I have, work on it, put it into post production? Yes, that's what I'm doing. But that's what I'm going to do with my money. Um, so I have a few things. Obviously, I'm doing online, working from home. So now and then, there's like a small paycheck from something. And do I have shit I can sell if I really need money? Yes, there's one or two things I can sell. I've got merchandising. I'm making masks, branded masks. I'm making more of my half man, half comic tops. It's winter. Um, I've considered starting a GoFundMe page, which then the rewards would be if people were to, it'll almost be like pre-buying tickets for whatever material I'm going to release next, or whatever special or TV show or whatever I'm going to release, whether it's on YouTube or there's a link where you donate and you can go there and buy. So we can we can do stuff like that. And then obviously most of my money came from live stand-up comedy shows, and I've written that off probably till next year. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think even government can tell us or predict. I don't think anybody or any expert actually can even predict what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen when schools reopen. We don't know what's going to happen when we go into level 3. We've just been told churches are going to open now. Restaurant owners are asking why. What about restaurants? Why they are not allowed to open if churches are being allowed to open? So definitely, this disease is going to get worse. I believe the infection rate is going to go up. A lot more people are going to get sick. So even by the time we get to level 1, for instance, and I try and do a show, most people are not going to feel safe to go out into crowds and come back, right? We're considering a few ideas in terms of drive-through shows, where we can set up a stage, lights, sound, and then you guys have to sit in your cars. But that then means you have to have a car to come to the show, which, for me, it's going to exclude a lot of my fans, right? So I don't think that should be a condition to be able to come to a comedy show or enjoy. But I might be booked for one of the shows, and then I have to do them, or I want to do them. We could do them just as trying them out. But the best thing for me, honestly, about this lockdown is a lot of ideas will come out, have come out. A lot of people are being innovative. I've always been an entrepreneur, so I've got other businesses that I just don't talk about publicly, don't see the need. Some of them I do when I have to, if I want to. I've got a film and production company. Um, I've had a modeling agency. Um, I was involved in a potential cannabis business. Um, it might still happen, which is, wasn't even in South Africa. So, but I like the fact that most of us are forced to actually make a plan B, not just, yes, boy. Um, Here's my wife's last born, guys. I don't even know what he's saying. Omari, what? Huh? Yeah, Nalia, come here. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a nice challenge that, to some extent, we're in the situation that we're in. A lot of us were comfortable. Ask Omari, what does he want?
He wants to take control from us.
So now you're leaving him to come to me when I'm in the middle of an interview.
We don't have an actual control. We want one that's where it's
We'll make a plan. These ones, I'm starting a YouTube channel for them as well. So there's my financial stability plan. I'm from Kronstadt. I was born in the Free State in Kronstadt. I think I met Zwide talking to Tenjiwe on her YouTube channel the other day. If I'm going back and forth, just bring me back, send a comment or whatever. Like I said, let me know what you guys do for a living, and maybe I can chat to some of you guys right here. So yeah, I mean, Refumo, you let me know what you do for a living. So, but let me come back again, maybe to the money question. Like I said, I've had my YouTube channel for 10 years. I don't know if you guys know, when you do watch YouTube, obviously most of the things you watch have adverts in them. Watch the ads if you can. Try not to jump the ads. If they're playing ads on my channel, on my content, and you watch the adverts, I get some of the money that the advertisers have paid, right? Which is why then I'm always now trying to get you guys to come and subscribe to my channel and watch, and why now I'm posting so much stuff. I neglected my channel a lot between June, July 2018 and lockdown. I neglected my YouTube channel. I was busy with other stuff and I was doing things, and but because I used to treat my YouTube channel so casually, there is a couple of hundred US dollars that I've never claimed from my YouTube channel, which obviously now I'm going to claim. It's a few thousand rands. Uh, so there's money somewhere. Trust me, guys. There's always money. I think maybe my biggest, I don't know if it's an advantage or disadvantage. I made a lot of money, and I got to a point where I don't want to say I didn't care, but money was not an issue for me, right? So I spend a lot of my money. I believed if I lose it, I'll get back on stage, I'll find something to do, I'll make money again, and I still believe that. And I've lived like that most of my life. So that's why I put a lot of my money in other comedians, in films that I wasn't making money on, but I was becoming a filmmaker, was creating projects that got me more work using my own money. Um, I take care of other people. I've looked after a couple of comedians throughout their careers. So I've always known I'll always be able to make money, right? The only difference just becomes at what point or at what stage um, am I at a certain time. So, for instance, what I used to do with other comedians, I mean, I've bought people cars, I found people places to stay, produced other comedians' shows. Some of them made money, some of them were not profitable, which I love doing, which is why I was doing them. So I wasn't doing them to make money, but if I emphasized and prioritized making money, I may have made money from some of them, or I may not have lost as much money as I lost on some of them. But the relationships and the actual developing, finding talent is what I was happy to do, right? And then, like I said, at some point I didn't have um, wife, I didn't have kids. Then I got a wife, then I got a child, then I got two kids, then I got three kids. So then my money priorities had to start changing, and obviously look after some family members as well here and there. So I still believe, yes, do what you love, money will follow you, but I spend my money a little bit different now. So for instance, whatever money I make from now on, I'm likely to buy more livestock. I've driven cars, very expensive cars, for like years. I mean, for like 16 years, particularly one particular brand, which was very costly to maintain, costly to buy the car. But now I'm over having all this material things, if you want to call them that. So to me now, it doesn't matter what car I drive, because I've driven the cars I wanted to drive, right? But you call an Uber and it's like a Toyota Corolla, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you get in it, and you get to where you're going. Um, the cars I was driving were also based on the fact that I used to travel a lot going to gigs. I used to spend more time in cars than I was spending sitting at home or sitting in a house or wherever I stayed. So that mattered a lot, and it still does. I've got kids. I want them to be safe from A to B. I still travel quite a bit. There was a time I used to travel and carry other people, other comedians, cast, crew. So their safety is kind of was in my hands. So again, I can't just now get into a Nissan 1400 and we're all sitting in the back. I have to look after people and make sure everybody's safe. I'm just trying to see most of your questions as well. Um, Godfrey Mashangu is asking who was the guy who was in matric. Godfrey, you have to be more specific. Um, I live in Midrand. Used to be a primary school teacher, but now I'm a part-time student via UNISA and, of course, Emahlalela due to COVID-19. Well, Godfrey, go into homeschooling. Um, there's definitely lots of money to be made there. So find out how you can qualify to be a homeschool teacher or whatever it is that you would call that, or even maybe find out how you can assist other parents homeschooling their kids. So, so here's another thing. My kids were already homeschooled as of the beginning of the year, right? So when everybody was rushing and had to be forced to do homeschooling and people were trying to figure out what to do, I didn't have those problems. My kids were already in a homeschooling setup. So those are some of the things that I said from lockdown. We all have to kind of start thinking, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do moving forward? You know, I've got a book that's due, or probably books. I was offered to write a book maybe now 2 years ago. I didn't. I wrote a post on Facebook where I was responding to my sister who was wishing one of my uncles happy birthday. And I was trying to wish my uncle happy birthday because of what my sister wrote. And then I ended up writing half a chapter of a book. So I think now I'm kind of ready to write my book. It can be about my life. There'll probably be another one about my businesses or failed businesses because I also like highlighting what didn't work so that other people can maybe learn from that. I don't want to dwell into all the nice things and the good things and the good life. I don't. So I will probably write a few or a couple of books. But now because now I'm home. I'm not traveling. I'm not going to be traveling for a while. You know. Uh, so all these things are sort of taking shape, right? I'm doing a documentary where I was cleaning out my garage and a spare room that I have. But throughout lockdown, I've been filming this, me trying to clean out, reset up, reset up my home office, put up a studio in the house. Because I used to have so much junk. Maybe I should show you guys. I've filmed stuff, I haven't edited it yet, so I will have a series about it on my YouTube channel. Um, so I didn't want you guys to see it until I was done with the show and I was done cleaning up. So let me just quickly maybe show you guys. It's actually insane. I have bought a lot of shit in my life. Um, some stuff I needed, some stuff I didn't. I bought a lot of stuff which were props in my movies. Some I kept, some we used in the film, some I might use again, some I'm giving away. I gave away a bed, not a bird, a bed, to one of the security guys who work in my estate. I gave him one of my fridges that I used to have. So this is my double garage, which is clearly there's no car. So the car is parked outside. I used to have 3 cars. I've sold 2. Now there's like things that I still need that I use. There's a golf bag. I must just check the internet doesn't cut me off, right? There's like a few golf bags. There's catering equipment. That's my wife's catering equipment because she's got a catering setup. There's books and shit from my office. There's some of these things I am selling, by the way, or I'll maybe put on Facebook Market. Some I'll give away. There's like CD stands because I used to have, and I still have a whole lot of CDs, but I built like a CD thing in the house. So now I've got this nice CD things or CD stands that are just idling. There's like a whole lot of things in here. This is like a storage setup in the garage, right? Some stuff it's like gifts from when I got married 12 years ago, and we still have them. I mean, this is a deep fryer, what thing. There's files and receipts and shit that doesn't even have writing on them that I must throw away. When I made Taxi Ride, like I said, I had the DVD right, so I printed about 10,000 DVDs. I might still have about 2,000 of them left. We sold the others. Some I gave to cast members to sell for themselves and make more money, so especially the comedians. I've got, yes, guys, I've got merchandise that I haven't sold that I must sell, or I would sell at shows. I've got an extension cord. It's not for sale. I hope I don't get cut off because I might be a bit far. So that's the garage, right? This is a cottage which used to be my office. So if you watch David Carr's house, you would notice or you'll recognize this room. There's too much light at the back. But yeah, long story short, there's a kitchen, there's a shower, there's a whole big space where I used to have my home office, my edit suite, blah, 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 blah. So, but then during lockdown, again, I started cleaning up. I used to have storage. I went to fetch my stuff out of storage. Then I brought them back to the house. Then I decided to take them out again. Then I gave away some of the stuff, but I'm making a documentary about it. Nothing hectic, just literally what I was doing during lockdown. And then I decided, let me do a documentary about cleaning out my space and turning it into a working space and a studio from home. Because now that's going to take priority more than before. I'm trying to chase the sun, guys. So yeah, so I just thought maybe we should catch up, have a chat, and especially I wanted to do it on my YouTube channel. I need that extension cord. I've got so many extension cords, cameras, sound equipment, lights. Most of the movies I made, I was using a lot of my own equipment. So towards the end of last year, I directed 2 feature films which would have come out at the cinemas this year. And again, obviously, that's not going to happen. Or that might happen next year. Or then they might end up maybe coming out somewhere else. The producers have to decide. I co-directed one movie with Sans Munsami, actor, comedian, friend of mine, the guy who plays Elerin Naidu in Blitz Patrollie. Blitz Patrollie is on Netflix, by the way. Those of you who haven't seen it, you can check out the trailer on YouTube. And that was supposed to come out Father's Day in June. The movie is called Who's My Daddy? That's not gonna come out in June. I directed another movie. In fact, a few days ago, I got the first rough cut from the editors and the producers. I'm still watching it and putting my head around it. So I've got a few things happening, going. I also got to a stage where I didn't want to talk about the things that I was planning to do. I'd rather just I did them, and then you know you'd see that they're done. And I still do that with a lot of other things. So there's a quite a lot of things that can happen that are happening. Um, Last time I traveled to New York was in November. I performed at Charlize Theron's charity evening in New York, and got an agent in New York um, for comedy and writing and stuff. And then this Corona happened. So again, I had plans what I was going to do after had to do the Black Song in Joburg. I was going to go back to traveling. I was going to go back to New York, probably LA as well. I was planning shows in New York, in Toronto, in LA, in the UK, maybe Australia, UAE, and then Corona or COVID-19 happened, right? So in March, I did a whole lot of shows at Parker's Comedy Club in Fourways in Johannesburg. Of course, I was working out my new one-man show called Sacrifice, which then I would have toured starting in the US and Canada. And but after or during lockdown, I started thinking, I haven't really traveled or performed as much in Africa as I would like to, and I don't feel good about it. So now my plans are changing slightly. I'll still do all the other shows, all the other tours, but my priority will be African countries. I love Kenya. I've never performed in Kenya. I've done Botswana, Swaziland, Lesotho, uh, Swarkopmund, Namibia years ago, many years ago, not lately. I've performed in Zambia. I've performed in Nigeria. So I'm gonna be working on a tour, putting a tour together with some of my comedian friends, some South Africans, some from the countries we wanna go to: Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, um, Ghana, and obviously adding on to the other um, countries that I've already taught in, and going back there because a lot of African comedians actually haven't toured in Africa. There's a few guys from Kenya who've maybe been to Nigeria. There's a Nigerian comedian friend of mine, Basket Mouth, who's been to a couple of other African countries that want to perform in Rwanda. Then we can, go to the UKs and the US and all those other places. So there's lots to do. There's still lots to do. Um, for me personally, I feel like I'm, I'm just starting out. What I really wanted to do, what I really want to do with comedy, I think I'm about to literally go into phase two. Obviously, Black Song has been going on for like 17 years now. We did the Dome 2 years ago, almost 10,000 people at the Dome. Again, I've got footage of that show. I've got footage of almost all the Black Song shows. I've got some that are fully edited. I went to see my final mix guy, Bernard, who's final mixed almost all my movies yesterday about one of the shows. Um, so that's why, again, I wanted to talk to you guys, get some ideas, hear what you guys are thinking, check how you people are doing, how you surviving, are you surviving, you know. how has Corona affected my fans and my followers and friends and family, so that we can then know that, hey, you know what, this guy is a designer or an engineer. I'm designing a way I can perform stand-up comedy with a live audience, small, but then maybe broadcast it. Because what I won't do or I can't do stand-up comedy into a laptop. That I'm definitely not going to do. But we can have a chat. We can talk about all the silly things, all the ridiculous things that are happening during lockdown. You getting arrested for driving around without a permit. Prisoners are being released because they are getting corona and COVID-19, but they're in lockdown. So they're being infected by prison warders or by people that are coming from outside. So the government is going to release about 27,000 prisoners. But they're arresting people for walking around and jogging outside, jogging hours, and driving without permits, trying to see girlfriends. We can talk about all that and how ridiculous all these things are and make fun of that. But I wouldn't now be like, hey guys, I'm doing stand up comedy. But I mean, remember when we started, we've done shows to 6 people, 30 people. Even now, if I want, I'll go to a comedy club without planning or announcing it. And there'll be like 20, 30 people in some of the places. And I'll get on stage and have some of the best times of my life, you know? So, but you do need a relationship with an audience to do, I believe, to perform stand up comedy. We can do all sorts of other comedy. We can do sketch comedy, we can chat, we can play games, we can do all these things. But that's just me, you know. Noctula says she wants the money they owe me in Nelspray, in Steak Spray. So one of the things, maybe since you mentioned Steak Spray, Noctula, I started doing about maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I started going to places where I had never been in South Africa and doing shows there, which one of them was Texspruit. I went to Colesberg. I went to Port Alfred. I went to Mthatha. So these are the things for me personally that I'm interested in, that I want to do. Um, it's nice, yes, to sell out shows in Joburg and Durban and Cape Town, Makufe. You know, my show was doing like 5,000 people. Did that for like 10 years in Bloemfontein. I want to do stadiums in Paris and, um, you know, in Limpopo. And those are the type of things I want to do. So, and they matter to me. And obviously, comedy has grown a lot in with the comedians speaking their mother tongue, their home languages, and I'm excited about that. You know, I love that. I was forced to perform in English when I started. I used to only perform to white people. Then I started a show called Comedy Blackout 4 years before Black Song Week, and then started Black Song Week. So I had all this material, and I couldn't perform, you know, because my career was for 2 years was like literally I would be the only black person in a venue or in a show or in a room. So there's still so much to be done. It's just that now technology, you know, my first 10 years of my career was entirely literally without any social media. Because if you guys think about it, Facebook is maybe 11, 12 years old. Instagram is probably 9 years old. Twitter is probably 9 years old, maybe. Um, you know, so I lived my half of my career outside of social media. Obviously, I was a bit on TV and stuff like that. So, and then there was 10 years of now the social media. Sometimes the best thing ever, sometimes the worst thing ever. It depends how you guys use it. But a phone is very powerful. Phone, data, internet, connection, that can be very powerful, but it can also destroy people and destroy people's lives. So, but right now, this is our relationship. You guys are wherever you are, but we can talk to each other. Since you already footage of all your shows, I think a deal with Netflix To release your footage would be the best. Thanks for the advice. Refumo. I'll ask Netflix. I'll talk to Netflix. Can you also try and get your stuff? Yes, I'll try. Uh, thanks, Busiso. Thank you very much, Boo. When are you going to do some shows in Kronstadt? The answer for everything now, Chief. After lockdown. After lockdown. Um, they want to applaud you for being a good man. How do you stay away from controversy though, and how do you avoid bad publicity? So too. It's like I said. I live my life so simple. Um, I try and spend a lot of time at home. I don't live my life like a celebrity. So for the past over a year now, I play golf almost every Sunday, every Wednesday. And then sometimes some golf days, Thursday, Fridays, almost the entire year. And that meant I leave my house, I go to a golf club, we go out for a drink with some friends. Most of us don't even drink alcohol, come back home. I stopped going to nightclubs like maybe 5 years ago. You know, I might have gone when I turned 40 because Taboo was throwing me a party. So in the past 5 years, I might have been to a nightclub twice. I think a little bit also during Global Citizen, some of the after parties, we go to a club. But I stopped going to nightclubs 5 years ago. So I guess I'm hanging out with friends I've had for like 30 years, people I've known for like 20 years, 10 years. Yes, I've got friends that are famous or celebrities, but we don't hang out or only show our lives when we're at events. You know, that's why you won't. I don't know, and I'm not headline material. I don't sell gossip. I avoid going to places where I don't have to be. Um, my wife used to drive our kids to school every morning, do everything. And when she was pregnant with our last born, I started driving the other two kids every day, every morning. If I was in the country, if I was in town, I was driving my kids to school 6:30, 6:40 a.m. Pick them up if I can. If she can't, or she drives them to school, I pick them up 1, 2 p.m. So I was living my life as normal as possible. And of course, now and then, you go and have to travel and go and perform wherever and hang out with fans, go out after show. So, but those were not priorities. Those were not like, yo, I can't wait. Yo, I'm looking forward to this thing. Um, so I think that's how I've kind of just chilled and go somewhere, make people laugh, come back home, hang out with friends and family. You um, I'm late. Oh, yo, Tlagiso. Yo, you said you are late. My mind went somewhere else. But I'm guessing you're talking about the interview. Yo, yes, yes. Hey, yours was nigga my heart attack, man. Um, so yeah, guys. I'm glad you could be here. Yeah, no, I thought you were late about something else. Tahi, but you can actually catch up with the interview. It will be on Facebook. It will be on YouTube. Um, so you can come back and watch it again anytime. So what I want to know as well, which I might go again live later today, um, with another comedian, if he's available, Mondle Asha Mzizi from KZN. But I will be going live a lot, talking to other comedians, finding out if they're okay, what are they doing, what do they want to talk about, if they want to talk about their plans. And but what I'm trying to figure out now, obviously, is again, when is the best time to go live on what platform, but especially on YouTube. and Facebook. I know 10 p.m.'s amazingly have worked amazingly for us or for me on. Tlahi, we can't read the emojis, so I can't see them. Ne? Um, you know, 10 p.m. has worked out quite nicely for my Facebook lives. YouTube I had never done. Um, I chose 12 p.m. to just see who's there. I might come back again 10 p.m. with someone else or another comedian. Um, and then we can kind of know maybe every night or 2 nights a week or 4 nights a week. We're going to go live at this time, have a chat. You guys can ask me whatever you want. And and then as the levels change and lives change, hopefully this thing doesn't get as bad as I think it might. um, Ian Thompson, friend of mine, used to be a marine in the US, now runs an internet service providing company in Cape Town. Stay safe, bro. Cape Town is it's a hotspot. um, do you have time? Can I send you a link and you just say hello quickly and you tell people what too much Wi-Fi is? Can we do that? Guys, I love this guy, one of my best friends. um, Fantastic, employing a lot of young people um, in Cape Town, providing an amazing service. um, so I don't know if I can put this in comments. Okay, so if you go to comments, right? Ian, go to comments, please. If you press on that link, I'll link you up. I'm so excited. So yeah, guys. This is one of the internet businesses. Not only will I work there, and I would love it, and I believe one of the biggest problems I've had with my YouTube channel is the price of data is very expensive in South Africa, and Ian is one of the people that are actually trying to do something about that. So I think we can talk about it. I've sent him a link. The link is in the comments. If he cuts and pastes and presses on that link, there we go.
Ah!
So, guys, this is what I was saying. This is what we can do on this new little streaming thing. Hey, man,
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, bro?
I'm good. I have to kill the Facebook here because I still hear
Oh,
the Facebook from like 10 seconds ago.
yeah.
How you all
So, guys,
doing?
welcome, Ian Thompson. Um, so, Ian, please, like, whatever 2 minutes, tell us about Too Much Wi-Fi, and get when you bring this thing to the rest of the country, then you've got people that are waiting.
Well, I mean, I think it just starts with the data is too damn high, you know? We got to do something about it. The price of data is too damn high. So, yeah, I mean, thanks. We're just actively trying to bring the price of data down and working with communities and building teams in township communities to try to build up uh, internet networks. And David's been a huge fan and supporter and a kind of rooter. While we kind of built the business, we kind of had an idea. And I mean, shoot, David, I think you and I talked like 2 days or 3 days after I first heard of the idea from my now business partner. And I was like, oh, it sounds like a good thing, but like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. I'm an American. I got to get my ass back to the United States, and here I am, 4 years later, 3 years later, and here we are.
So
But
you
yeah, I
moved
think
to
the
South
bottom line
Africa.
is
You moved to South
I moved
Africa
to South
for.
Africa for a break, dude. I came down here just to chill out for a little bit. And next thing I'm here. My son was born here, and we're happy here. But, yeah.
And the interesting thing when we spoke the last time is your business has grown quite a bit during lockdown, right? People being home, people being on their phones, people being on their internet.
yeah, I mean, the business has grown, the demand has grown, right? I mean, whether it's, I don't like to pretend that we're some magicians, everybody needs to be online. I mean, the importance of all our children being able to access good education. I mean, we all pretend we're good teachers, but like, 4 hours with kids trying to teach them math, and go crazy. We appreciate how important teachers are, but I mean, we need that for education. People need to be able to kind of improve their own personal education as adults. There's so much going on. But yeah, I mean, and then obviously people need to be able to work remotely. So it's made the importance of internet access super clear for everybody.
How many people are you employing now? How many young people are you employing?
It's interesting. That's a good question. So I think we're right now we hover between 75 and 100 people that work on Too Much Wi-Fi. We had this internship path where we try to get people to come on board, work for 3 months hard, kind of prove as much as they can. We've got some pretty clear core values. As David, you mentioned, like I was a Marine, so I'm still kind of trying to keep things in their little boxes, right? So what's our core values? Okay, cool. And so if people start matching those, and we have a demand in that community, then absolutely we try to bring people on full time. But it's been tough right now. I think one of our mechanisms for doing internships is actually to do field marketing. You go out, you kind of go as a team, you talk to your neighbors, you get your neighbors involved, tell them how they can get on. You got a whole bunch of recent graduates, haven't done much else, and that's how we were going to train. We got to figure out different ways to do it. And one of the other things is you can't get people to do remote work, to do like call center work until they have good internet at home. So like, we're getting there.
So you're an essential service, right?
Yes, thank goodness. I mean, for the people that we're serving, because obviously networks need to be maintained. When things go down, you got to go fix them. And yeah, man, nothing worse than a pissed off auntie when her internet goes down. You've got to get your ass out there and get her back online.
Will you drop the website address for Too Much Wi-Fi in the comments, and then people can just go there if they want more info?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I can't. I will afterwards. I have to go back to your thing, because if I open up the Facebook, I'm going to hear the
Okay, give it to me.
It's just toomuchwifi.co.za.
Yeah. Cool.
There you go. Thanks, man. Great to talk to you. I think we got another follow-up to do as well. Things are cooking down here. Things are cooking down here, and obviously
the stats in
being able to
stream
your video content, all over South Africa while people can eat their own damn popcorn. I agree with what you were saying before, though, right? You need that audience. If you don't have that active engagement, it's tough to do things and be able to respond to your fans and the people that are in the audience. We're all kind of clicking. I started to shave again. My beard had gotten really scruffy, but I'm just working on my Magnum PI.
Some days I'm just like, I need to take it all off, and then some days I'm like,
But you got some nice silver in there, man.
I know my wife likes it.
I like it too, man. I mean,
my wife likes it, but I haven't shaved for like, this is maybe 4 or 5 days that I haven't shaved.
Dude, I'm fresh.
Awesome.
Hey man, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And,
much love to all your fans, and we're all going to join you, man. I can't wait for the next show. We'll buy another big block of seats to get some of our customers out there to hear you again live. That was a really fun thing to do. Right? We ended up with 10 customers for you.
I know the last time we were in Cape Town, you bought a whole bunch of tickets for your staff,
To our staff, but then we also did a raffle for some customers. We ended up getting 10 customers to go out there to CTICC. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It might be only next year, but in the
Inshallah.
meantime, we're going to do stuff. Inshallah.
No, man. Yeah, we'll get there, man. We'll get there. Thanks so much for having me, man. I'll let you get back to your show.
All right.
Ciao, ciao. Keep it up. Proud of you.
Ciao. So yeah, guys, you guys met Ian. I've put the website address there. Like I was saying, the data price in South Africa has been killing us. It's killed a lot of young businesses, yeah, a lot of black businesses, small businesses. Um, it's only going to get better because it has to, not because they want it to. So when they're forced to, they'll keep reducing the price little bit, little bit, little bit. And